Alright. Reviewing Frankie on King's Row defense.
I have your back.
3, 2, 1. Attackers
I have your back.
defend objective.
I really don't like this setup because you're really far deep and you're sitting there, and when you dive in, if you recall, you're going to be stuck out there, and if they jump to that second level, you're kind of screwed. So you want to dive in with Tracer from a better area where you can get back to your team easy. And for example, like this, if you're in trouble right now, you're in so deep and for so long that if you recall, you're stuck there. So if you recall because you're out of blinks, or if they get you down below half health, then you're stuck out there and you don't really have anywhere to go. I like the fact that you focused that mercy first. That was really good, but I think you should have just kind of gotten out and left that alone, because they don't really have a push out with their mercy out and them not even past choke yet. So you could have pulled back and kind of left that alone a little bit and waited, got your cooldowns back, and dove back in. I like that you're going for this mercy every time. It's really good. Really good turn of angle there for that Orisa, noticing she's discorded. Recall when you're purple, that's good. And here you should be blinking to the left, and if you want to go back in, you can blink back to the right when you were behind that bus back there. Like, let me see if I can get back to it. Right here, you should be blinking to the left after, like, while you're reloading, while you're blinking around, because that's going to give you a better ability to get back to your team if need be. So if you recall, you'll recall back to your left. If you blink to the left and blink back in to go back in for the healers. Right there, you should have used your pulse bomb. Really easy target. You would have had that shot if you just would have pressed triangle right there. So let's see that again. Pulse bomb, you already know this by playing Tracer as much as you have. Pulse bomb, you get it really quick, so don't be afraid to use it. Think about when you have it and what you're sticking it to, and if it's a squishy like that, right there, you should have thrown that. Don't be afraid to use your pulse bomb, because you know how quickly you get it back. You can build 3 pulse bombs by the time the tanks get their ults, so you can still combo with Zarya a lot, so don't be afraid to use that. Right here, you could be throwing that, sticking it to Mercy preferably. There you go, that was good. You should have stayed on that Reaper. He was very low, and he was not going to get to that health pack before fade. You didn't need to recall right there. You had it. Hold on. Let me see this again. I also think you're taking the wrong fight here. I don't think you should be focusing a hog that has a mercy attached to him. You're never going to do anything to him alone. Okay, yeah, you had 2 blinks there. You only went down 20 HP, so you need to be listening for Tracer's, like, her little sigh thing that she just did. And that's whenever you recall. It's whenever half health hits. So wait and listen for that before you recall, unless you need to do it to reposition if you're out of blinks. If you're gonna die instantly to like a Widow or an Ashe or something like that and you're out of blinks, yeah, use your recall even if you have 150 health, if you need it for repositioning. But when you still have blinks and you're above half health, don't recall. Orisa's gonna throw that every time, and you're not even gonna kill her with a pulse bomb if she's at full HP. So go for squishies with those, and at the very least, you know, you could have blinked right past her shield right there and just gone for one of the squishies that were on her. But I think you should have got out right there. So let's look at that one more time. So the main goal with Tracer that I play to is play to survive. If you're alive, you can be a lot more of a pest than if you're dying every few minutes. You know, just try to stay alive. Try to stay alive. Play to live and be a pest. You know, you're not an assassin like Genji with Tracer. You're more of an off-angle pest. That's just that constant thought in the back of their head that they have someone on their back line, they have someone on their flank looking for you. So right there, I think you should have pulled out, yeah. Sorry, we're gonna look at that one more time. At this point, you stuck your pulse bomb to a shield. You don't have recall right now. You are on an 8-second cooldown from recall. You stuck your pulse bomb to a shield. You have got, I think you had 1 blink at the time. You need to be getting out right there. Think about your cooldowns. The fact that you don't have a recall and you don't have a lot of blinks is a big issue with Tracer. She only has 150 health, so she has to think about getting out sooner because it takes less damage to actually kill her than any of the rest of the characters in the game. I like that you're in your own backline here, but you need to recall whenever Reaper blossoms immediately. Recall and blink out.
Fighters don't give up. We just need a solid repair every once in a while. Hiya!
I have your back.
Stop the bleeding.
Honestly, here you can be doing a lot of damage at choke on King's Row. And I see you're going up for this Widow now, so I'm just gonna see how this plays out. You can always destroy that mine in case you need to go back up there. Just always shoot those mines when you see them like that. I think you should be going for that Widow here. That Widow knows where you are. She's looking for you. So, when you went into that hotel and they didn't see you, I would have just gone out the back end and gone for the Widow. The very, very back line is where Tracer really thrives. Whoever may be back there. Your Annas, your Widows, Ashes, soldiers. You should have you knew exactly where he was going to be because he needed that health pack. You could have blinked forward there and turned to the right and pulse bombed and recalled out. Go in with a game plan whenever you have pulse bomb like that, especially at the beginning of these team fights. Really good stick right there. Really good. It needs to be used quickly and aggressively because once again you build it quickly, and the more you use it, the more useful it is because once again you build it quickly. So when I say go in with a game plan, I mean like if you go out and you know you're going for the Widow and you come out and you don't one clip her, and if you're not going to melee her, just be prepared to throw that pulse bomb on her. Just like have it as an option in your head. Because if you take that Widow out with that pulse bomb, even though you had a good pulse bomb on the Ana and the Mercy, but if you would have took that Widow out, you would have had a lot more room to work on killing the Ana and the Mercy and building another pulse bomb. Good focus on the Sombra. That's really good because you need to focus on her as quickly as possible to not get hacked. Hacking is a death sentence for Tracer. Let's see what happened here. So this is a team fight. Like your whole team's still alive here. You should not blink forward there. Not at all. I'm not sure if you were going to pulse bomb, but they are in spawn, and it is all 6 of them very close together. So I think you should have just kind of blinked out and more kind of played to live. Again, played to live. Maybe gone into that left room, because your team is still alive. Your team still has a good chance of winning the fight without you even having to use the pulse bomb necessarily. And also, you're playing to live because your team is still there. You're not trying to make a big play with that pulse bomb. So don't blink forward there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Play to live when your team is still alive. Go for those bigger plays when it can help turn a fight that you're kind of losing. Good focus on the Mercy. You should not be going in on a hog without recall, because a good hog will one hook combo you every time. And right here, you don't have recall. When you hear that breath, that blink out. Just get out. Play to live, play to be a pest. Go for one target there. You kind of shot the whole team. Decide a target that you're doing as soon as you find them, and go for that one. Try to actually stick someone instead of throwing it into the group. Especially in these low ranks, they just walk into the team generally, and you have a better success rate, and you know you're gonna kill at least one when you stick someone, rather than throwing it into that group like that, just kind of randomly in the middle. Because it generally works out better when you go for the actual stick. Good spot on the Reaper up top. There's no fade. You need to be paying attention to that Bob's LOS and not beating it. He eliminates Tracer very quickly, as you can see right there. Make sure to recall when you have it. I'm not sure if you were. Just not expecting that, but when you hear that breath, make sure to just train yourself. Hit R1 when you hear the gas. Good. Get that Mercy. You got to get used to the range of the pulse bomb. You should go to the target range and just play around with Tracer. It also helps your aim, but build your pulse bomb really quickly on these bots, and you can practice kind of feeling out the range of how far the pulse bomb goes forward based on how high up you're looking. That's good. Get out of the health pack. It's more important to play to live than like to get back on the payload right there, because you knew you were going to die if you went forward and just got on the payload. But you played to live and you were able to get back. Just pay attention to, if it's 0.57 meters away compared to like 6 how it was when you went to the health pack. You know you're able to get back in those cases. I think that was a really good round, man. Honestly, like working on those recalls and working on just thinking about the recalls, especially with your positioning, knowing that you can get out better, not staying in and just blinking forwards and backwards for too long, because that recall is going to be based on the past 3 seconds. So it's not a long time at all. You need to be kind of blinking in directions where you can get back to your team. That and the sticking the pulse bomb, working on that distance. That was a really good round, man.